assistant support. So I'm putting up all the resources for you myself. Now I have the first 3 weeks poems here, and before this coming Sunday, you should choose one poem to annotate, and then to give 1 paragraph commentary. Okay, and you can choose either poems that we covered this week, today, or next week's poem. And of course, the ways to grade the 2 kinds of annotation will be different, because supposedly we have talked about the poems, and when you annotate them, we'll expect more from you. Okay. Next week we'll be reading 4 poems, and I think we are making we are reading poems, progressively more poems from week to week. Okay, like last week the poems are the easiest, and this week we are only reading 3 sonnets, and next week we'll be reading 4 poems in the category of metaphysical poetry, and those are not really easy. Okay, so I may choose one of them to record my lecture, but basically I think the flea will not be analyzed in detail. We'll put more time into analyzing the other poems, such as Valediction, Forbidden Morning. Oh, there were 3 poems also next week, but they are more difficult. Oh, 4 poems. There are 4 poems. We'll focus more on Valediction, Forbidden Morning, and To His Core Mysteries. I think I missed To His Core Mysteries here, but it is there, so it should be ready soon. So you shouldn't forget, like, when you do the annotation, you click on the poem. Annotation here, 笔记本. Okay, so you click on the poem, like the flea 做笔记, and then you start to do your annotation, and then you submit the commentary and the notes, and then you download them. You download it as a file, and then you submit it here in Unit 1. Here, Annotation 1, Annotation 2. And don't forget the due day. I think there's something wrong here. I remember I set as due day this Sunday. Let me check. Oh yeah, this Sunday is 27th. Okay, so this Sunday, and then 2 Sundays from now, March the 13th, will be the due day of the 2nd annotation. Okay, the same thing. You can either choose a poem from that week, the poems we covered that week, or the following week with poems that we haven't covered. Okay, is that clear? Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's start with the quiz. I know that this may come as a surprise for you, but I really hope that you don't forget what we covered the previous weeks. I'm asking some really simple questions, but I hope that you remember what we talked about. Okay, don't just give them back to me. Okay, so let's begin. Definition of medieval ballads. Wait, 那个前面这个灯可不可以关掉？不是，这个。好像后面可以控制耶。这个灯，因为它那个白板会不够清楚。不，这个灯不要。对，其他都要。对，然后那个等会我放影片的时候，就麻烦你把前面的灯关掉。好，谢谢。 So you're done? Okay, let's check. Pretty good. Yes. It has very simple plot line, but with a lot of omission, and usually you get to analyze more or think more through the gaps, through the omissions. Okay. So which are of the descriptions here are positive affirmation of the values of the characters? So you're done? Okay. Not too bad. The old knight sits by the king's right knee, and we talk about how this is a flattering position or a submissive position. Okay, and the first answer, the first part is just a description of his radical responses. How Sir Patrick Span laughs at first and cries. And the laughter in this poem, as well as in Barbara Allen, we cannot really totally understand. There is there can be different interpretation of the laughter of Barbara Allen or Sir Patrick Spence. Okay, let's move on. There are three versions. The first one presents Barbara Allen as a cruel woman. The second one, she dies for love, or there is a misunderstanding. The third one, she is stopped by her parents first from seeing the young guy. And when she sees him, he's about to die. And this is what he says. Don't forget, choose the wrong answer. The wrong one. Yeah, choose the wrong one. Okay, you're done? Okay. Wait, no, yeah, it should be number one. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Let me. It should be number one. Basically, the lines here shows that she's cold. In front of one person's deathbed, she says that I'm not going to speak to you anymore, and nor will the other young man speak to you. Okay, and you will never be better for me. And although you are hurting for me, you will be no better for, no longer any good for me. So it shows that either she's honest about the situation, or she's self-centered, or she's stubborn about hiding her emotion. Okay, but from the lines, look at the questions too. I think these questions are what you can think for you to think further about the poems, or for your reference if you want to teach a poem in the workstation. I think the questions remind you of some of the main ideas too. For instance, how is summer compared to Tao, the beauty? Okay, and what the real object is in this poem, and also what the function of repetitions there are. Okay, the other thing to remind you of is that now that we are in the second semester, you really should try harder to analyze the structure or to analyze the sound pattern. Here, this is a page showing you how the rhymes work. How the rhymes put together different things. For instance, the repetition of the sounds connect different things, like no loose possession that fail thou ownest and growest. You own something and you continue to grow. These are the two ideas supporting the immortality of beauty. So they are put together. Okay, so this is something you should try to check further. It's impossible for us to like exhaust the meanings of a poem. Okay, the next poem is more difficult, and after that we'll get to the fun part, and that is Romeo and Juliet presented in different versions, and then you will see how the sonnets or the poems can be read really passionately, with strong emotions. But let's handle the witty part first. Okay, let me not to the marriage of true minds. This is a poem which is not really easy. It has a lot of repetition of the words that needs explanation. So let me explain the meanings first. Okay, and then remind you of the questions, okay, that you can ask of this poem. Let me not, do you know the pagination? You can use your, I think this is in your reader. You should get a reader and mark the important parts of the poem. Okay, again, this is a Shakespearean sonnet, so there are 3 quatrains and 1 couplet. Let me not to the marriage of true minds amid impediments. So again, there is an inversion. The verb appears only in the second line. Let me not amid impediments, obstacles, to the marriage of true minds. And this is a thesis statement. Main idea. Okay. 就是让我不要容许障碍产生在婚姻中。Okay, 这个很难翻译。I'm not. I really shouldn't try to use the Chinese. It takes time to translate the poetic language. And when I try to do it, it really is awkward. So let me use English. Let me not allow obstacles to the marriage of true minds. So the marriage of true minds is the main point, the main theme. Okay, it doesn't have to mean the marriage between a man and a woman. It could mean the kind of intellectual marriage of true minds. Okay, so here I think Shakespeare is meant to be ambiguous about different kinds of love. It's not just heterosexual love, or it's not just physical love. Okay. Okay. So love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Okay. So here Shakespeare say that the sonnet here, says that if love alters when it finds alteration. Okay, so there is 3 repetition of the words to suggest that the same word has different meanings. Love is not love, 就是像白马非马, the kind of love which changes when it finds alteration in the circumstances. Like, for instance, you stay here and your girlfriend goes to the United States to study. That's an alteration in the circumstances. Okay, so when love changes according to the changes in the environment, then love is not love. That's one thing. Or bends with the remover to remove. With the remover, again, something external. In the environment, there is something to remove some elements in love. For instance, different living environment. You live in the south, and your girlfriend or your boyfriend lives in the north, and that's a remover. Okay, one thing to move your girlfriend down south. Okay, and then you bend with the remover. 屈服于这个改变的状况 to move your heart, to move your body, or to move your sense of loyalty, etc. Okay, so basically the two lines convey similar meanings, and that is love should not change according to with the changes in the environment. Whether it be alteration or remover. Okay, alteration means changes. Remover means to get rid of something which was there. For instance, your lover was there and it was gone, or your lover used to have a lot of money and it was gone, or your lover used to be very beautiful and the beauty was is removed, and then whether you will remove your love, you will give up your love because of this major remover. OK， 所以就记住这alteration 是环境的改变 ，remover 是环境中间去除一些事情，something disappear, something get disposed of. OK， so this is first stanza. Oh no, it is so no, that's not love. OK, love is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. This is a word that you will not be able to understand with your understanding of modern English. Mark means sea mark, and it means the lighting house, 灯塔. Mark here means sea mark, and sea mark means lighthouse, 灯塔. Okay, so it is an ever fixed lighthouse. Okay, that looks on the tempest over the sea and is never shaken. So usually the lighthouse is the guide for the ships on the sea. If they lost direction, they'll look for the lighthouse that they can find. Okay, so love is the lighthouse. It is a star, so it is the lighthouse, and it is the northern star, the star to every wandering bark. Bark means ship. Okay, whose words unknown, although its height be taken. The star is what do you call it? Polar star? 北极星怎么讲? Polar star? I don't know. A polar bear. Okay. Anyway, I forgot how to say 北极星. Northern star? Just northern star? Northern what? Okay, anyway, you check for yourself. So this refers to the northern star, okay, which is again the star that's easy to find in the sky for the travelers, to find their direction. Okay, so the northern star, its value remains unknown, although its height be taken. 就是它的 altitude, 它的高度, 它的经纬度 can be measured. Okay, the figures can be gotten, but the actual value of the northern star or love as northern star cannot be known. Okay, cannot be fully calculated. Okay, so this is the second line. So the second quadrant. The first quadrant explains how love is different from the changeful love. Okay, and then the second quadrant explains what love should be like. That love should be steadfast, should be eternal, should not be changed, and love should offer guidance to those people who are lost. So for instance, at one moment in your love, you may feel that you're not really sure about the relationship. But then if you feel love in you, then you will try to maintain the relationship or improve the relationship. Okay, the same thing if the two persons are in two different places. You know, if you really feel love, then you will try to understand each other. Okay, I think that's the idea of the lighthouse or the Northern Star, that it becomes a guiding principles, you know, for you to develop your relationship. Okay, and then the third quadrant, again, to say what love is not and what love is. Okay. Oh no, what love is not and what love does not do. Love's not times full, and love alters not. So these are the two main ideas in the third quadrant. Love's not times full, though rosy lips and cheeks with his bending within his bending circles compass come. Okay, though rosy lips and cheeks means beautiful elements on a beauty's face, right? Okay, come within time's bending circle. Okay, so in other words, love is not controlled by time. It's not times full means that love is not controlled by time. Though the beautiful physical elements can be controlled, can be within time's control. And the metaphor here is that it falls within time's bending circle. This is the idea of time, father time. Saturn in Greek mythology is father time, and he usually carries with him a sickle, 就是一个镰刀. Okay, so within his bending circle is what's implied. Okay, it's like Cupid always with his bows and arrow, and then father time always comes with his sickle. Okay, so rosy cheeks and lips come within time's control. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, and but bears it out even to the edge of doom. Okay, although there are, I think his could mean love. Love has his brief hours and weeks, but love does not alter, and it continues to the edge of doom, to the time of death or doomsday. Okay, death means one person's death. Doomsday means the end of the world. Okay, either way, I think it works. Okay, so these are the three stanzas. The first one talks about what love is not, and the second one talks about what love is, and the third one again talks about what love is not. Okay, and the last one, the punchline: if this be error and upon me proved, I never read, nor no man ever loved. In other words, if what I said about love's eternity, love's unchangeableness, okay, is wrong, or it proved on me to be wrong. In other words, if I becomes unloyal, changeful, etc., I never wrote any poems, and nor has anyone loved. In other words, if this version of ideal love is not possible, or if I cannot have this kind of love, then I'm no longer a poet. All the poems I've written are no poems. Okay, nor has anyone loved. In other words, if it is not possible for me, it's not possible for anyone else. Okay, so at the end there is, I think, really a bold assumption. And the last two lines, as punchlines, are presented in very neat pattern of iambic pentameter. If this be error and upon me proved, I never read and no man ever loved. Okay, so the rhythm here is very clear. Okay, and here I think that from the three quadrants, we get a simple idea that love should be eternal, love should be steadfast, love should not change according to the circumstances, or love should stay the same till the end of life. Okay, so I think this is a really simple belief, very simple but strong belief. Okay, what is interesting for me is at the end that he says that, if this is an error, then I never wrote, and nor has anyone loved. Okay.